Hey trainers, welcome back to the lab. My name's Professor Howie. Today we are starting a new series on deck building where I'm going to talk to you about what to look for in different Pokemon cards, so that way you can apply that to your own personal decks to make custom unique decks. This is for the current rotation of D through F in 2022. But I believe that the theory and the information will still make sense in years to come. Anyways, if you want to see more content like this, please hit the like button. And if you do like my channel and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. And at 100 subscribers, we are giving away an Elite Trainer box, most likely an Astral Radiance. That's what it's looking like. We're currently at 70 plus almost. 67 right now is the time of recording, and so it's almost the start of the 4th week of my YouTube journey, and the support and the feedback has been phenomenal. So thank you guys so much for that. I am entirely humbled and grateful. But let us get into what this is. So every deck is made of 3 main cards. We have our Pokemon, our trainers, and our energies. This video, we're going to be looking all about the Pokemon cards, and I'm going to be explaining not what each card does, but the types and the archetypes kind of each card, if that makes sense. So with the Pokemon, there are, I'm sure there's many more, but in general, there's about 3 main groups of Pokemon, and all these groups come together to make up like a deck engine and your deck. Basically, you have your attackers, or the Pokemon that you're trying to get charged up to swing. You have your support Pokemon, which helps you draw and get the things you want into your hand. And then you have the tech cards, which are kind of the one-ofs that you play in your decks to mess with the opponent. So let's get into attackers first. So there are 2 types of attackers. There are main attackers and there are secondary attackers. Now, main attackers are usually what your deck is built around. Main attackers include cards such as a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX and Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. There's decks built around these, and they're solid attackers. They do damage and they take out the opponents. A few other attackers would also include Arceus V would be included as an attacker. Mew VMAX would be included as an attacker. Whimsicott V Star. Durant could also be considered as an attacker, although he doesn't attack directly. A Galarian Obstagoon is an attacker, and Rapid Strike Malamar is an attacker. So these are all examples of attacking or attacker Pokemons that you build decks around usually. Usually they're like the star of your deck. They're the main force of your deck. But there are also secondary attackers. A Moltres V is considered a very good secondary attacker because you don't really have to commit any energy to charge it up. Its ability lets you charge it up passively. So that makes it a very good second attacker, as does its darkness typing, because Mew VMAX is a very prevalent deck, and this hits Mew VMAX for weakness. So that's great. A couple other examples of secondary attackers would be a Galarian Zapdos V would be considered a secondary attacker. I'm sure you could also make a deck around this card, but usually he's used as a one-of index. A Hoopa V is a strong secondary attacker. Zeraora V is another good secondary attacker. And Umbreon VMAX is another good secondary attacker. But Umbreon does have another feature, which we're going to talk about in this next part, which is the support Pokemon. Now, support Pokemon help your deck do a lot of things. They can help you draw, they can help you do some damage, they can help you set up for future turns, and they can also help disrupt. I'm sure there's more they can do. There are a lot of Pokemon cards, but these are the main ones that people think about when building a deck. Take Snorlax, for example. We use him a lot on this channel. With his ability Gormandize, you get a draw till you have 7 cards in your hand. That's a great supporter card to help you draw more cards. Cinccino is another great support card, especially if you know that you're going to have more cards in your hand and you have more cards in your deck that are able to be discarded depending on the matchup. Bibarel is also a great draw supporting card, especially if you play a lot of cards from your hand and you notice that in your deck you don't have a lot of cards in your hand. Slap a Bibarel on the bench, you can draw 5. Octillery is another great draw supporter, as is Crobat V with his ability. Genesect is another great draw supporter for the Fusion Strike decks, such as Mew VMAX. And Luminion V is another great staple card that lets you search out a supporter card from your deck. And finally, how can I not talk about Inteleon? With his Shady Dealings ability, you're able to search up for 2 trainer cards in your deck. Strong draw card. But the reason why Inteleon is so sought after currently and is so strong is because he has a second version, which is the Inteleon with quick shooting, which lets you put up to do damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, which could help soften them up or do other things, maybe lower them enough so they're in range to be taken out. Having 2 options to go into with your Drizzile is what makes this evolution line so strong. I will say, if you are thinking about investing into Inteleon right now, the rotation is going to be coming up in August or September after the Worlds Tournament, and Inteleon will be rotating out. So people do buy Inteleons for about 4 packs right now. That could be a little bit pricey, but you will get 3 months of use out of it while using the standard ladder. But just keep that in mind when you're building decks right now. A Galarian Zigzagoon is another great supporter card because he'll put 1 damage counter on the enemy Pokemon, softening them up. I believe for some decks he is used to bring Mew VMAX into 1-hit KO range, down to 320. And this Passimian lets your Rapid Strike Pokemon hit your opponent's bench damage for more, which is great. So this synergizes very well with Rapid Strike Urshifu. So now we have the setup cards. Flaffy is a great example of a setup card with Dynamotor because it allows you to attach your energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can be playing 2 energy in 1 turn. Very good for accelerating energy. It also frees you up to discard energies into the discard pile so you can make use of this ability. Single Strike Houndoom is also a great card for accelerating energy. Lets you search them out from your deck, so it's very strong. A Bolton V can also power up your bench extremely quickly. And yes, even Arceus V and Arceus V Star are both supporter cards, even though they're also main attacker cards. That's what makes them so strong. Another type of support Pokemon that are strong are the disruption and the utility cards, such as Umbreon VMAX. When you evolve it, you can basically boss's order your Pokemon. That is a very strong ability. Galarian Weezing is also another strong supporter card because its ability nullifies all other abilities while it's in the active spot. Banette is also another good disruption card which lets you de-evolve your opponent's Pokemon. So they could have maybe an Arceus V-Star out or Mew VMAX, and you could de-evolve it back to a Mew V, weakening in it, maybe allowing you to go for the knockout. So cards like that. The last category of Pokemon I'm going to touch on today are the tech cards. Now these are cards that people usually put one-ofs in their decks to deal with a certain matchup. For example, people put Manaphy in their deck, just 1, to prevent all benched Pokemon damage. So that shuts down a lot of Rapid Strike Urshifus and more. Dunsparce with Mysterious Nest is also another commonly used tech card in Arceus V decks because Arceus V is weak to fighting, but it doesn't hit anything for weakness, so it doesn't matter if you eliminate everyone's weakness on the field. Pumpkaboo is another tech card some people take to get rid of some stadiums they don't want in play. And Pyukumuku is a card that some people take if they want to have an extra little draw tech in their deck. Kind of a fun card to have. So trainers, there you have it for episode 1. These are the most common types of Pokemon that you're going to be building your deck around. In the next episode, we will be covering trainers and how to fill out the rest of your deck with trainers and energies. Well guys, thanks for coming to the lab. I really do appreciate it. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope to see you next time. If you did enjoy this, please like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes Sunday. So make sure to check back for more. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.